The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the pit complete. That is crazy
Side by
stuff.
side, Freitas is on the grass on the infield for 4. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
They hail from around the globe, and though separated by oceans, they gather in the virtual world to battle, to compete, to race. Whether they're former champions looking to regain the title, new and eager hopefuls driving for glory, or legends in their own time preparing to dominate, they're all here for one reason alone: to win. Today we'll find out whose name will be forever etched into the record books. You're watching the Blondies MX-5 World Tour.
Welcome to the Global Sim Racing channel. You are watching the Quality Racing Syndicate Blondies MX-5 World Tour, sponsored by Blondies Bar in Long Beach, the place to be. We are coming to you live from Road Atlanta in Georgia. This is race number 10, the penultimate round of the series. I'm Richard Losper, and with me in the broadcast booth today is the master of understatement, Ayrton Ellis, and a man with a quote for any situation, Bill Zahn. Our director today is Kevin Brown, and of course we use the great camera sets provided by Dougie Beard. Well, Ayrton, we're at Road Atlanta, the roller coaster. Do tell the folks about this track. Plenty to say about this track.
Oh yeah, and it has the name the roller coaster for a good reason. The track is about 2.5 miles long, or 4.8 kilometers, and it has, 4.0 kilometers, and it has 12 turns. And interesting thing, almost all the turns have some form of elevation change in one way or another. So that's why it's called the roller coaster. And it's a very difficult track. It also has a very long backstretch, which will make it quite a bit of a draft track as well. So this track has quite a high skill ceiling. We're going to be running about 27 laps around the track, which will take about 45 minutes. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Ayrton. And as you say, yeah, a very interesting, very difficult, and of course a very challenging track for these drivers. Well, let us actually see what it looks like around this track in an MX-5. So we do have a lap guide for you, and we'll get that playing for you momentarily.
Alright, we've got Eklund behind the wheel, GSRC on the hood of our MX-5, and we're about to take a lap around Road Atlanta. Coming across the start-finish line, you've got the fast right-hander of Turn 1 coming up. The very brave are going to try to go through here too wide, but it's going to slow each car up. Get all the way to the inside curb and then track out all the way to the outside curb, because you got to carry your speed up this steep uphill. Then you've got braking for Turn 3. Pretty tricky, and it's blind. Take as much of that inside curb as you can, but don't get too greedy, because you can get a slowdown penalty if you're not careful. Now you've got the S's. It's going to be single file through here, but it's still flat to the floor, so you got to get the line right. Then braking for Turn 5. Left, uphill, very fast, and you're going to see guys possibly oversteer and lose it off into the barriers. Then the approach to Turn 6. This could be a passing zone if you got a good run coming out of 5, but once again, fast corner because of that banking. Get that curbing on the right there, then it's a short burst into 7. Most important corner on the circuit. You really want to set yourself up for the exit because of this back straightaway. You're going to see guys possibly take a slower entry just so that they can set up a better exit out of here. Now, even though the rest of this track is a very technical track, because of this long back stretch and the draft in these MX-5s, it's going to be a very strategic race. And you're going to see guys possibly wait for the end to snipe somebody just to get a spot. Now you're approaching turns 10A and 10B, the chicane. This is your best passing opportunity on the whole course. Heavy braking. You're going to see guys go too wide through here, but you can defend on the outside. Now, once again, important to get the exit right because you're going to be flat all the way to turn 1. Up over the crest, heading into that fast right final corner. Very scary in faster cars, but this one's pretty easy. Cross the start-finish line, and you finished a lap around Road Atlanta.
Welcome back, folks. As you can see, the track at Road Atlanta is some say it's fun, some say it's challenging. Nobody says it's easy. So that's how we go around this track. Now, Bill, let's talk about the championship. We are getting to the end of the season. This is the second last round, only one to go after this. The championship looking very interesting. Evan Maillard not managing to stay at the top. Uros Jelenko is the man.
Yes, going into last race, the Slovenian Uros Jelenko and the Frenchman Evan Maillard were tied, literally deadlocked even. But they went to Brands Hatch, which is Jelenko's favorite track, where he has already two career wins already. And Jelenko put in a win, and that's given him a 17-point lead on Maillard. Now, Jelenko is the yellowing leaf that fears the autumn wind that is Evan Maillard. So Maillard's really going to have to get a nice victory, at least finish ahead of Jelenko to make this thing really close for our final race coming up. That's a night race in Sebring. Now, Richard, Eklund is in third, and McAleer is in fourth. Those guys are back 108 and 110 points back, respectively. Their season is pretty much over, unless Jelenko or Maillard have some disaster that hits them in the next couple weeks. Sergio Moore is not here today. He has a stop-and-go penalty to serve, so once he comes back. And then we have Jan Koeman rounding out the top six. Now, some names to keep an eye on are Amjad Yaman and Yuri Yanis. Those guys are sitting 7th and 8th. Yanis is going to be on the pole with Yaman. It seems like, as always, Yanis and Yaman, they're like a comedy team. They're going to be racing from the front row this race, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on them. And then some names that are not here today is Thomas Szabo running in 10th. He's not here today. So back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, certainly is interesting. Tomas Szabo, well, not here today, as you say. I've got my eye on Richard Eklund today. I know this is one of his favorites. I think, anyway, it's one of his favorite tracks. So we'll see how he fares today. Jan Koemans, I noticed, is back there. Jan Koemans is sitting in 6th place in the championship, of course, and Sam McAleer is in there as well. These guys seem to be top of the board at the moment during the warm-up session.
And Richard, just to follow up on that this weekend, because of the quick six gimmick where these guys are re-grid, your points leaders are going to be starting in the third row, and that's going to be Jelenko, and just ahead of him are Maillard. So it's interesting on those early laps to watch those guys work their way through the guys who are ahead of them. And what's interesting is Jan Koemans was out of the quick six. He's in 7th place this race.
Well, that's right. So he's got a bit of work to do, but this is one of his favorite tracks. If we recall, when they ran the short track, I think he was leading for a lot of the way, or he may even have won it. But let's go now to the keys of the race with Ayrton Ellis. Ayrton, for Cozy Cabins, can you tell us what are the keys to winning this race?
Yeah, sure thing, Richard. Well, as usual, pit stops is going to be a factor. These cars are only fueled to 28% of their tank. They're going to have to make at least one pit stop throughout the race, and usually within the second, third, there's a window for these guys to come in. And then also lap traffic is going to be big here, because the first half of the track, very difficult to pass on, especially the S's. And I feel like a lot of the fast drivers are going to get stuck behind lap traffic, and that's going to make things difficult, probably influence some battles as well. And then third of all, as I said, there's limited passing opportunities, but the big passing opportunity is at the end of that backstretch. Going into the chicane, we're going to see a lot of battles going into that, and maybe even a last lap battle, someone trying to make a move for the win. So that's definitely going to be pretty tight, and that draft on that backstretch is going to be very important for these guys to manage. Back to you, Richard.
Yeah, that is spot on, Ayrton. I tell you, after that long backstretch, even these cars, they get up to about 130 miles an hour down there. And some of it is downhill. That last part coming to the chicane is downhill. So we saw some pretty thrilling battles there for the lead and for passing opportunities as well. So it's going to be an enormously interesting. I'm glad that we're running the full track today. So we should see plenty of action. Lap traffic may not be all of a factor as much as we've seen on the short tracks this time around. But everyone getting into the pits now. I think the it looks like the warm-up is just about finished, and we will get a start momentarily. So Bill, why don't you go ahead and give us what we know of the grid at this point?
Well, my grid hasn't popped up yet, but I can give you the quick six, and then maybe the rest of the guys will show up by then. On the pole is Yuri Yanis, and then outside of row 1 is Amjad Yaman. In the second row, you have McAleer with Eklund on the outside of him, and now my grid's shown up, so I can go ahead the top 10 here. Maillard and Jelenko running in the third row. Kuman's back in the fourth row with Ben Callum. That's a nice qualifying for him. Tomiki Komo, good for him in Japan. It's the middle of the night for him. Tom Rathi in 10th place. Ayrton, what do you got in 11th?
In 11th, it's going to be Carlos Torres. Next to him, Roy Visser. Then it's going to be Billy Bob Wright in 13th and Mihai Messison alongside him. Benjamin Lanamet is going to be in 15th, and Benjamin Nelson in 16th. Louis Baboni in 17th. Leonard Cheston in 18th. Jonathan Kier in 19th, and Eric Garcia in 20th. Richard?
Yep, and going down to the 21st position, we've got Jeroen Ursem. Then we've got Al Heaton, Andy Morgan, Derek Holland, John Allen, Anthony Celentano, Joseph Aero, and Sergio Mura is listed, but I believe he will not be racing. Well, we're getting ready for a start, folks. The lights will be coming up momentarily, and away they go. The green flag flies immediately. Evan Maillard, his car has a huge bubble there, and they do get away pretty smartly. I'm watching from Jan Koeman's car in the 7th position. It looks like Yanis has got away cleanly there. Everyone else going into turn 1 now. Ayrton, it's war, and Jan Koeman's making a huge move, 3 wide, going up to turn number 3. This could be ugly. And they get through safely. Jan Koeman's makes up enormous amount of positions. Ayrton, what a charge from Jan.
Yeah, from 7th to 4th within just 3 corners. That's an awesome start for him, but bad start for Sam McAleer. He had a marble off the line. He's already down into 8th place right now behind Tomoki Kono.
Yeah, I thought, in fact, that was Evan Maillard, but not the case. At the moment, Sam McAleer and Tomoki Kono going side by side into turn number 7, or is that 8? Then Tomoki does get the better of him as they start the first down the backstretch for the first time. So a pretty clean start, a very good start from Jan Koeman's. Bill, what have you seen?
Everybody is clean all the way through, all 25 cars. They made it all the way around. Now they have the chicane to do as they come up, but so far, very nice driving from everybody.
And we see Eklund making a move there on Yaman down the backstretch. He goes to the inside. Ayrton, can he get it done?
He backs off, but that lets Koeman. He's right on the back of him now. There's now 4 in a row going out of that chicane, but Evan Maillard looking on the back of Koeman after he got a bad exit of the chicane. Right now, top 5, Jerry Janis, Amjad Yaman, Sam McAleer, Richard Eklund, and Evan Maillard in 5th.
Yeah, and Evan actually gave him a little bit of a kiss, but the action's up front. We've got Yaman going for the lead there into turn number 1. He gets the job done. He makes a pass on Yanis, and now Eklund wants a piece of the action as well. Jan Koeman wants a piece of the action. Jan Eklund trying it on into turn 3, an impossible place to make a pass. Now they go down the S's, and we've got Jan Koeman passing Eklund through the S's. Unbelievable stuff. Here comes Evan Maillard as well behind Eklund. He decides to back out the Ayrton. Crazy racing at the moment.
Yeah, awesome racing. Koeman's almost skimming the wall there on the exit of turn 5. But yeah, these guys going side by side almost had contact in that turn 3 between Eklund and Yanis. It's good to see both of them got through with no damage, but some aggressive racing at the start so far.
And let me tell you, let's just go a little way back behind Evan Maillard that we was watching there in 6th place. We have got Tomoki Kono, then Sam McAleer, and then Uras Jolenko. All of these guys are absolutely brilliant drivers in this car, Bill, and we are going to see a fantastic race. So we are only on lap number 2.
Well, I think it's good to mention here that our points leader, Uras Jolenko, is sitting back in 8th place, and Jan Koeman is not an old Jan Koeman, but the Jan Koeman as old as he has been really aggressive on these early laps as they're going 3 wide back here now. As they go, it looks like there's an orange car. Is that Maillard? Oh my
Maillard and-
goodness.
Yeah, Kona still on the outside of Eklund as they went 3 wide through that final corner. Looks like Maillard's trying to defend a little bit. He tries to block Richard Eklund a little bit off, but Kono actually almost had a slide.
backs out of it. He's not spinning. He backed right out of it. I thought for a moment he was going to spin, but he caught the car back up again. He was caught in no man's land. As we see now, Uros Jolenko and Sam McAleer both passing Kono, and but he's back in it. He's going through the S's again. They go single file now, at least for once, through turn 5 there, and all of them hitting that sand trap pretty hard there, Eton.
Yeah, definitely. Also, something that I want to mention is that right now, 2 of the top 3 drivers in this race at the moment have not gotten a win so far this season. The one who has is Janis. So Amjad Yaman sitting in first, and Kumans, who's looking very strong so far. Neither of them have won so far this season. They're hungry for those wins.
Well, that's right. And Amjad Yaman, having made that move onto into turn 1, I should say, on Janis, he is sitting there in first position. I wonder how long that can last though. With the draft here, just look behind them. We've got in third place, we've got Jan Koolmans going now to defensive into the inside. Then we've got Evan Maillard making a move on him. Not going to happen at this stage. And we there's been a touch between, oh my goodness gracious.
Yaman went off.
Touch between Yaman and Koolmans. Koolmans gets the job done on Yaman, though Yaman got kind of wrung out there by both cars coming at him. Now we've got side by side between Evan Maillard and Jan Koolmans, and Jay Yanis is in their sights at the moment, going into turn 1, virtually side by side. These guys do not care where they are on the track, Ethan. They will try past.
Yeah, and Yaman, he ran deep going into the chicane to avoid getting hit by Kumans, and all that. Although that prevented him from getting contact, he dropped all the way down to 8th place behind Uros Jolenko. So a lot of work for Yaman to do after being in first.
Yep, he got shuffled all the way back, as you say. A whole freight train past him. Richard Eklund now sitting in 4th place behind Koolmans. Let's watch and see what he can do. Richard Eklund is got his eyes on the prize, as they say, as well. But at the moment, let's just have a look. Jay Yanis fighting now to stay into in first place with the group. Coming up behind him being Evan Maillard, Jan Koolmans, Richard Eklund. Then we've got Sam McAleer and Uros Jolenko. Uros has moved up a few spots into 6th place now, Bill. So he's making a run at these guys.
Yeah, Maillard trying to make a move on Janis. He's going to get the inside going into the chicane. They can go side by side 3. He's going to get a nose ahead as they start to break. Looks like he might secure the position. Koolmans actually goes very deep. He's going to get the position from Janis, and also Richard Eklund trying to get in there. He's going to be in the outside on the exit of the corner, but Janis getting a weak exit. Looks like Richard Eklund actually got a slowdown. He's going to fall back into 9th place behind Tomoki Kono now.
Yep, that is correct. They all tried the move on Jay Yanis at the same time. Evan Maillard made the move, and now we see Evan Maillard having to redo that move again. Sorry, that is Sam McAleer now on Jay Yanis, and here comes Uros, and on the outside Amjad Yaman as well. All of them together through turn 3. Tomoki Kono as well.
Uros Jolenko.
Uros Jolenko had a moment there. Through turn 3, he's lost multiple positions there, Eton. Just goes to show all you need is one mistake. He's lost about 10 positions.
Yeah, he dropped all the way down to 13th from 5th. He just got a little too loose in the exit turn 3. That really cost him.
Well, they tried 3 wide through turn 3. I don't know how you can do that. It's impossible, but they've tried it.
So now the order now is Maillard leading the way, of Koolmans right behind. They've now got a gap ahead of Janis in 3rd. Then Amjad Yaman, Sam McAleer leading the train.
Well, let's just take a moment here, Bill, and have a look at what was the pole sitter, one of the front row, I should say, Benjamin Callow. He's now renamed himself to Ben Callow. This guy he's in 9th place at the moment. A very useful MX-5 driver, Ben Callow. Sitting in 9th place there. Not a bad position to be in the top 10 behind some of these guys that are used to running together. With the way these guys are running, sitting in 9th place might actually be advantageous for him as they possibly take each other out.
Yeah, you see Ben Callow in that multicolored car. If we drop back one position, there's a great battle going back here. Carlos Torres in that brown Colombian coffee colored car. Now, right behind him is one of our sponsors, Tom Rathy, running in 10th place in that kind of light colored Tidal Influence car. Behind him, Roy Visser and Billy Bob Thornton are in a nice battle. And if we go one spot back, you get to Uris Jelenko, who's our point leader who had that problem. His car still looks good, but he's running right now in 13th position.
Yeah, that's right. Thankfully we had no damage on Uros there, but I did get some information from our director, which as usual I can never understand. So go ahead.
We are on board with.
say?
We're on board in Uros's cars. He's going to try to make a move right now on Billy Bob Wright. He's got Billy Bob Wright and Roy Visser ahead of him, those two dark-colored cars. Jelenko should be able to get by these guys. You know, he is our fastest qualifier today, sitting back in 13th position. The quick six got the best of him.
Well, guys, let's go back to the front at the moment where we see Evan Meyer in the lead. Jan Koolmans behind him. Now, Ethan, you will recall was it Jan Koolmans and Meyer, or was it Meyer and Eklund that had that problem through the chicane the last time we were here?
Not sure. I think it was Koolmans and Eklund. No, it was Maillard and Eklund had contact on the short configuration of Road Atlanta here near the beginning of the season. I remember that.
Yeah, so now we've got Jan Koolmans behind Eklund, and look at the gap, Ethan, they put already on Jay Yanis, and Jay Yanis is no slouch in this car.
Oh yeah, and I mean Jared Janis he's a very strategic driver. He likes to sit behind and just keep on the rear of his opponents while driving. We saw that at Charlotte, and that's where he got his win, and even multiple wins in this series there. So he really suits these draft tracks. We've already seen a lot of people benefiting from the draft on that backstretch so far this race.
And just to butt in, if viewers who've been watching this series, it was just the last race, wasn't it? You have that good memory. Didn't Koolmans and Maillard have a battle to the end there where they went side by side to the finish, or it wasn't? It was the race before, right? Where they were swapping positions on the last lap. Yeah, it was at Zolder.
Yes, indeed. I mean, let's face it, we always have exciting races here now. Let's just have a look at Giannis there, where, as we said earlier on, the battle up front will intensify, no doubt. But you know, Ethan, I mean, they still have to do their pit stop, so now's not the time to be battling that hard. But we did say in one of our keys to the races that it's good to have a lead here. As we see now, Koolmans making that move on Evan Meyer. Evan Meyer, of course, never gives up, but he gave up pretty tamely there, Ethan.
Yeah, and that's going to let Jared Janis going to get a run, since both of them got pretty weak exit going side by side into that corner. Jared Janis is going to try to get a run coming out of this final corner. In fact, Evan Maillard gets a run as well. He's going to go side by side with Koolmans. Jared Janis also looking to go 3 wide. He decides to back out and hide behind Koolmans at this point. Koolmans actually skims the dirt a little bit on braking, so he loses a little bit of time, losing the position to Maillard, gets first place back. Jared Janis sitting right behind them now. Also, Yaman and Sam McAleer from 4th and 5th also caught up to the rear of these guys. So still a 5-6 car race now.
And at the moment, we're looking at Sam McAleer. He's trying to move, or just try to move on Yaman there. Decided no, he couldn't do it, and then he lost the place to Richard Eklund. Richard Eklund now on the back of Amjad Yaman, trying to take away that, I think that will be the 5th place, trying to take away 4th place. But look up front there, Bill, these guys, you know, I just do not understand how they go lap after lap at this intensity. Side by side with Eklund, they touch. Eklund and Yaman, they touch. Normally that would be a big deal, but in this case, no big deal. This happens all the time. Now we see, who is that? Sam McAleer trying to make it 3 wide down the straightaway there, and it looks like we've got Amjad Yaman now on the outside, being slightly freight trained by both Richard Eklund and Sam McAleer as they come down into the braking zone for the chicane. What will happen here? Sam McAleer on the inside, Amjad Yaman very brave through there, but McAleer staying with him on the outside. They touch again, and as we say, no big deal for these drivers to have a touch or two. They're now going side by side down into the last turn number 12 onto the front stretch, still side by side, Ethan. These guys, fantastic driving, I have to say.
Oh yeah, it's going to be difficult going into turn 1. The inside definitely gives the advantage, but Sam McAleer still sticking his nose on the outside. He almost skims the dirt. He's going to get the inside for his turn 2, but then they're going to go into turn 3. He's going to get the position even before the braking zone. Excellent driving from Sam McAleer.
And that was no less than about 6 or 7 turns where these guys were side by side, nobody giving an inch. Amjad Yaman on the inside for the most part, and of course Sam McAleer on the outside. What brilliant driving from these guys. Now they go through turn 5 once again, and down that shortish straight into turn number 6, the right-hander. A bit of banking there to help them, and now onto the very, very important turn number 7, onto the backstretch once again. Bill, why don't we leave these guys for a moment? They seem single file at the moment, and let's have a look at something further back.
Yeah, well, let's drop back just a little bit to Ben Callow now. He's worked his way up to 7th. He's got around our Japanese driver, Kono. Now, behind him is Rathy, and Jelenko has made his way around a few. Let's go, if we go a little bit farther back, we're going to go to Benjamin Lanawood, and just to talk about him, he has now stretched his consecutive... Okay, we'll go back up to Kono.
Kumans has spun. Kumans got spun by Evan Maillard in the chicane. He's going to drop back. And yeah, he's recovering now, but he's going to drop back a lot of positions.
Yeah, we will get a replay of that incident there. I also noticed Benjamin Callow on the outside there struggling, and now might be a good time to pit. I didn't see that incident. I was following Bill Zahn, but we are getting a replay of that. Do you want to call what happened there, Ayrton?
If you, Ayrton, didn't you? It looked like netcode. It looked like a ghost contact. Horrible ghost contact.
Yeah. Kumans was leaving plenty of room for Maillard, and yep, just netcode from iRacing.
Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's.
Right, and here comes Eklund making a move on Maillard now. Eklund has got a good run. Maillard, you see in that orange car out in front there. Eklund in that dark-colored car.
Yeah, Evan Maillard is now the leader of the race. Behind him, and we are on lap number 10 of, what did we say, 27 laps? Richard Eklund. Richard Eklund now on the back of Evan Maillard. Goes to the outside, Ayrton, planning his move already. Trying to make something happen. Can he get cleanly past before the end of the straight? Evan Maillard is now about 1 car length behind him, directly behind him. He's not tucked in behind him. He's going to go to the inside. Comes at him through the chicane. Ever so nicely together they go through. Whoa, here comes Mr. Black Hawk, Jay Yanis as well. He is up there with the leaders on the outside, trying to take away the second position from Richard Eklund. Looks like he might get it done, Ayrton, and he does.
Yeah, excellent run out of the chicane. Really took advantage of Richard Eklund getting a slow run while trying to pass Jurs Jelenko. Sam McAleer is also right behind these guys now as well. Pit windows should be open within these next couple laps, so I won't be surprised some of these guys shoot in.
Yeah, and we will catch up with the position of Jan Koemans momentarily. But right now, there is a battle. Our director shouting in my ear once again. I wish he would shut up, this guy. He makes a lot of noise.
He was talking that Eklund was loose in the S's there as now you see McAleer in that orange car with that Scottish flag on the hood making a move on Eklund. That would be for 4th position.
Yes, we do love our director. He does give us lots of very, very good information, sometimes too much of it. You're quite correct. We do have Sam McAleer. Amjad Yaman, who was leading at one point, is all the way back in 5th place right now, and a little way off Sam McAleer, but he's not out of it. Make no mistake, he is not out of it. Behind him, Tomoki Kono, who's had ups and downs, dare we say, Ayrton. He's got a little bit of work to do to catch up to these guys, but he is in there in 6th place as well. And then looky, Tidal Influence car, one of the sponsors, Tom Rathy. Bill, this will please you. He's in 7th place.
Right, and if we can drop back, keep an eye there. We'd like to get our sponsor a little screen time. Let's go ahead, and we're going to drop back to 10th position, and that's Jurs Jelenko. He really hasn't been able to get by too many drivers, and just ahead of him is Jan Koeman. So both of those guys have had trouble running 9th and 10th.
Well, Koolmans has just gone into the pits. He's done a very characteristic Koolmans-like thing, completely ignored the pit road, went straight over the grass, and went into pit lane, and he's got some damage on the right-hand side there from that contact.
Oh, Eklund's having a lot of problems at the moment. Yeah. He just went off track, almost had contact with Jared Janis. Luckily didn't hit him, but it looks like Eklund's really struggling. I wonder if he had contact somewhere, got some damage because his car's very loose.
Well, yes, it could well be the case that his car is. I'm having a look at Richard Eklund's car right now. It doesn't look as if he's got any damage there. He's behind Jay Janis now. These guys are now a long way behind Evan Maillard. Of course, Jan Koolmans is in the pits, as we mentioned. Richard Eklund staying with him. Yes, you're right, Ayrton. His car is pretty loose. Uncharacteristic from Richard Eklund there. But he's managed to stay with Jay Janis. He goes to the inside now. He's going to attempt to take away that second position. Looks like it might be an easy run for him because he's already side by side. They still have the downhill section of the straightaway to negotiate, which they do now. But Jay Janis hanging in there, and behind them Sam McAleer as well. Richard Eklund does get the move done. Jay Janis wisely just falls in behind him. But here comes Sam McAleer on the inside and takes away and Amjad Yaman. Richard Eklund goes into the pits. Sam McAleer, and behind them Janis and Yaman, as we say, the comedy duo. These two guys were side by side, and they actually touched there for a second, Bill.
Yeah, those guys seem to always find themselves together on the track. They are so equally matched that they can't help but be close.
But Tomoki Kono is in there. He's got by in all of that, Ayrton. He got by Amjad Yaman as well. And now he's just behind Sam McAleer as they go through the S's.
Yeah, Richard Eklund really cost all the other guys a lot of time there because he was driving really loose and like out of control in front of them. They had to slow down and brake for him. That let Evan Maillard get a 3-second lead ahead of Sam McAleer in second. So that really cost him. I'm wondering what happened to Richard Eklund because they're chatting in the driver chat. Sam McAleer asking Richard Eklund if he had any problems with his car. Eklund said no, so I'm kind of curious as to what was going on.
Eklund is out. Anyway. Eklund's out of the pits now, so he's really our benchmark to keep an eye on when these guys start to come in. He's going to come out well back down the list, but we'll keep an eye as these guys start to come in and the pit cycle cycles through.
Well, that's right. And also, Jan Koolmans did go into the pits before him, so Jan Koolmans should be well and truly ready to do the last part of this race. Where is Jan Koolmans? Jan Koolmans is way back at the moment, going through the S's there. He's listed as being in 20th place. That could be correct or not. His car looks pretty good at this point in time as he goes over the grass.
Yeah, McAleer and Janis have gone into pits.
Yes, Jay Janis has gone into the pits, so a bunch of the guys all pitting now. Somebody who has not yet made a pit stop, of course, is Evan Maillard, leading this race and leading it well. Tomoki Kono has now gone into second place. I love driving with Tomoki Kono. I tell you what, this guy is pretty good. Also remember, Ayrton, this guy is a pro driver, so he drives along with Uros Julenko in the F1 series as pro drivers.
Yeah, and that also just shows how competitive the race is. I was really impressed with Benjamin Kalau, who actually he managed to pass Tomoki Kono on track, got up to 7th place at one point ahead of him. He's dropped back a little bit. I think he made a couple mistakes, but some good race for Benjamin Kalau.
Okay, Eklund is going to get around McAleer. He's going to beat him in the pits as McAleer's just coming out right now. So Eklund is still our leader of the guys who have pitted.
Okay, so he's... Yep, and we've got Richard Eklund now coming up to Louis Baboni through the S's. This is going to be a rude awakening for Louis Baboni when you see an Eklund coming up behind you. And Louis Baboni, by the way, is no slouch in the MX-5 as well. But Eklund is in a hurry to get past. He goes to the outside, coming up to turn number 6 there. Will get the job done pretty easily as Louis Baboni just allows him to get by. A wise move there from Louis Baboni, and Louis got a bit of damage on his car as well. But Eklund, a man in a hurry at the moment, Bill.
Well, yeah, Ayrton, he can't afford to get held up by a, well, I guess a back marker if we want to put it this way, because Maillard's out there running pretty fast.
Yeah, Kono and Yaman now into the pit, so it's interesting to see where they'll come out in reference to Richard Eklund. Richard Eklund might just get ahead of all of them. If Maillard stays out, though.
Yeah, just having a look at Eklund. Eklund is already coming to the chicane right now. So with these guys just having entered their pit stalls, he's going to pass them pretty easily, I think.
Yama's sitting up in the second pit stall to the front. So if anyone can beat Eklund out, it'll be Yaman.
Yeah, Kono's leaving his pit stall, so it's going to be tight. Yeah, Richard Eklund just about to go into one.
Down the front stretch at the moment. Well, both of them
They're going to beat him up
before Eklund. I would have thought he'd have more time, but of course he's got some speed, whereas Yaman's still getting up to speed. Kono did make a good exit there. Yaman not so good, as Eklund managed to pass Amjad Yaman, but Amjad right on the back of Eklund right now. So these guys will have a little bit of work to catch up to Moki Kono, who's now looking down at who is that? Anthony Salentano, one of the back markers, we should say, who has yet to pit, no doubt. So Tomoki Kono currently sitting on our screen in third place behind Tom Rathie. Evan Maillard, Ayrton, he has not made a pit stop yet, I believe.
Nope, he and Tom Ratchie have not made pit stops yet.
Yeah, well, he's our current leader. It'll be interesting to see when he goes into the pits what happens. But, you know, I want to go back to what Ayrton was saying there about Benjamin Callow. Benjamin now currently sitting in third place, but of course I believe he may need to pit as well. Benjamin, a very, very useful driver in the MX-5. We've had some really good battles, Benjamin and I, at Watkins Glen recently in the MX-5 racing there. So we'll keep an eye on Benjamin Callow there and see how he fares. This, of course, is just a notch up from official racing. There's no doubt that coming into a series like this, you are going to meet the best of the best. Isn't that right, Bill?
Yeah, these guys are top of the line, of guys who are used to winning have trouble maybe finding top fives here. You know, Tom Rathie currently running in second position is yet to pit. We just talked about Ben Callow. How about a shout out to John Deuce Allen? He's driving in that blue and black car. He hasn't come in yet, running in fourth place, but it's nice to see him actually get through lap one. His second half of the season is going much better. Had a horrible first half of the season as Maillard continues to stay out.
I have to laugh. A little quick story about John Allen. John Allen is one of the fast drivers. Make no mistake, this guy can race hard, as we hear from our director that Evan Maillard has gone into the pits. Let's just leave John Allen for a second there, Eton, because this is a critical pit stop. Let's see how he goes and how the second place guy. Now, who is our actual...
Tomoki Kono.
Kono is the one to watch, isn't it?
Yep, he's the highest of the drivers who have pitted.
And he's not to the chicane yet, so he's got a ways to go to get there. I think Maillard's should be able to beat him out unless he has disaster in the pits.
Yeah, just having a look now. Maillard is in his pit stall. Fuel going into the car. I wonder if he's taking tires. I didn't see because I dropped off from him for a second. He's coming out of the pits now, nonetheless. And
it's gonna be close.
Tomoki Kono is coming along the front stretch. Looks like Eden, he might beat him out pretty easily.
Yeah, he's going to beat him out, but I think Tomoki Kono actually gained a little bit of time, which is valuable because they're about 4 or 5 seconds behind before that pit stop. So he did gain, I think he gained a little bit of time going through turn 3 right now as Evan Maillard had left it. So he gained some time, which is valuable. He was going to have to do some work to catch him, though.
Oh, yeah. We're getting information that the gap is actually 3.4 seconds. You're not going to catch Evan Maillard when he's got a 3.4 second lead on you. So I would say, Bill, that unless something drastic happens in the next 10 laps, Evan Maillard, having done his pit stop, is looking good.
Yeah, Maillard's not the kind of driver you want to try to run down. If we can go ahead, we can probably set these top positions now. Maillard's going to be really your first driver in the lead. Kono's running in that yellow car, going to be in second position. Now, if you go back, it's third and fourth are Eklund and Yaman had a nice battle, and then a little bit behind them is Sam McAleer in that orange car with the Scottish flag on there. And then you go back to Yuri Yanis, and Juris Jelenko now is gotten around Jan Kumas. So Jelenko running in, if I count up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think that's 7th position.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
good recovery.
Well, let's just check in with Urosjelenko. Remember, this is our championship leader. Urosjelenko in the number 17 machine, currently sitting back in 13th place on track. He is behind Jay Yanis. So it looks to me, Ayrton, as if he is kind of moving slowly through the field. But he's got a bunch of guys to pass yet, and some who have not yet pitted, such as Louis Baboni, for instance. So I would say he's in the top 10 at this point in time, and possibly having a look at getting perhaps down into 5th or 6th position.
Yeah, I mean, this race is definitely going to hurt Euros. His lowest finish so far this season has only been 4th place. He's always finished within the top 3, except for one 4th place that he got at, I believe it was Zolder. So, I mean, he has the highest average finish of all the drivers in this series. This race is going to hurt him a lot because not only is he going to get less points in this race alone, it's going to lower his average amount of points. So he's going to drop a lot more points because of that in the standings. So this is going to hurt him.
And Ayrton, you're absolutely right. That consistency is what allowed him to have this point lead. Bayard has 4 wins, but he also has 3 or 4 really bad finishes. So consistency has really paid off there. As Rathy and John Deuce Allen now have pitted from 1st and 2nd, so that puts our Frenchman back in the lead.
And we see Richard Eklund making a move on to Moki Kono. He's got around him coming to the chicane. Good move there. I didn't see all of it, just managed to catch the tail end. But Moki Kono, Ayrton has not given up. He's coming back at him as they go now into turn number 12, onto the front stretch once again. But it looks like Richard Eklund has got it all back together again. And in 2nd place and consolidating now, although he's under threat from Connor. Connor hasn't given up going into turn 1 there. They go through in single file, but Connor is very much on the back of Richard Eklund and showing him that he is there and it ain't over yet. Bill, last call. Perhaps we should get on to that.
If the director is ready, we will go to last call. If he can quickly pull up that graphic. Even if he can't, we're going there anyway. Last call brought to you by Blondies Bar in Long Beach. We're going to start in the 23rd position with Al Heaton. Al Heaton, a very clean driver, actually sits 2nd on the chart for the miles per incident chart. So he's doing very well. Right ahead of him in a battle there, as you see, Benjamin Nelson in 22nd place. Let's give it a little. We'll stay on this battle here as Al Heaton is going to go try to make a move on Benjamin Nelson. We'll keep our last call here for a while because we don't get much excitement in the last call. And there's a successful pass by Al Heaton. Nice job by Benjamin Nelson. Let's go one spot up. Derek Holland running in 21st position in that kind of, I'm going to call that a gray colored car, except my rods and cones are bad thanks to my mom and dad. Let's go to Jonathan Keir. I know that colored car because I painted it. He's in that roadster preservation car, the only roadster, running 21st position in that yellow car. We'll go a little bit farther ahead as Jonathan now has dropped farther down my list. Let's go ahead to, did I skip one? Let's go ahead to, we did Derek Holland. Let's go up to Anthony Celentano. Running as you see him right now, as I have him going off on the grass there. Keep it on the pavement while you're on TV, Anthony. Gee whiz. Let's go a spot up ahead to Billy Bob Thornton. He's in a nice battle with the Barbie car. Billy Bob making a move on Urim. Help me out here. It's Jurin Yursum. Did I get that one right? And that's
Jeroen Ursum.
all right, you got it. What is it's the pink Barbie car he races for his daughter. And we've already talked about Louis Baboni. Hey, one more spot. We haven't heard anything from Lino Chestang. Let's go ahead. He's running currently in 15th position in that dark colored car. And that's no, I'm not done yet. I want to get one more driver. We haven't heard. He's in the Blondies. Eric Garcia go up to 13th position in that Charcoals Blondies car. It's Eric Garcia back. He doesn't race much. It's good to see him back, having a nice race in 13. That's last call brought to you by Blondies Bar in Long Beach. Blondies Bar, the place to be.
All right, and that was a pretty good call there from Bill Zahn. As we were going through those last call drivers, there were some battles that they were involved in as well. So good to see. Well, let us go back to the front now, Ayrton, where Evan Maillard is leading this thing now by at least 5 or 6 seconds. Doesn't look as if anyone's going to catch him.
Yeah, well, actually the battle is between the second place pack. Actually, Stan McAleer Amjad Yaman going side by side. In fact, Tomoki Kono going to make it 3 wide for a short moment out of the chicane. These guys are battling pretty hard. They're already losing some time to Eklund as Sam McLear moves up into 3rd place.
Yeah, Kono's having a problem, isn't it? Because he was way up. He was ahead of Eklund. He's got passed by Eklund, Maillard, and then Yaman as well. But now he's got ahead of Yaman again. That's some good fighting going on by those guys. Rich?
Well, that's right. And as usual, Ethan, I was going to say that the battle comes down to 2nd place. We've had some magnificent 2nd place battles in this whole series. As we see, somebody was in the wall.
Yeah, Benjamin Nelson's hit the wall in front of these guys. Actually, yeah, he spun on the in turn 4.
All right, we are going to try and get a replay of that incident. We believe it was Benjamin Nelson who hit the wall there. Meanwhile, we'll go back to the action up front where Tomoki Kono is battling with Sam McAleer, and just keeping a watching brief behind these two is Amjad Yaman. I have to say, guys, that it looks as if Richard Eklund has got away now from the battle, and Sam McAleer is now fighting for that 3rd place, which will be a podium spot. Further back, I should mention here that Uras Jelenko has made it into 7th place, Etan.
Yeah, he has. He's right behind Tom Ratchey, who's actually coming up on this group as well. So Yurs Jelenko and Tom Ratchey both making good recovery drives, especially for Yurs Jelenko's screw up in the
we got a battle here with Jay Yanis. Uras Jelenko and Jay Yanis coming into the chicane. Jay Yanis tried to make a move from the outside position. He did not manage to get that done, and we see now that he does fall back into line. So Uras Jelenko maintains that position, but he had almost lost it for a second. As we see Yanis coming again at Uras Jelenko on the entry to turn number 1. Is he going to try something there? He does not. They go in single file into turn 1. Good move there. Uras Jelenko hanging on. Coming up to turn number 3, they go through once again in single file. So a battle happening here all over the track. Let's go a bit forward with you, Etan, to see what's happening with the Kono McAleer battle.
Yeah, well, Richard Eklund still leading that 2nd place pack. Sam McAleer ahead of Kono, and Amjad Yaman has actually fallen back a little bit. The good part of that, though, is that he's going to be letting Tom Ratchey get close to the draft. He might be able to join this pack and fight for that 2nd, 3rd place, maybe even try to get on the podium. That would be a great finish for Ratchey.
Well, yep, Jan Koemans, we find we're going to check in with Jan Koemans. We believe he's in a battle there with John Allen. We didn't finish the story on John Allen. We'll get to that if we do have time. But right now, Jan Koemans coming up on John Allen. John Allen will not give up the place easily, but he will also bow to superiority if he has to. At the moment, he's got the legs on Jan Koemans. Doesn't look as if Jan Koemans has the speed, Bill. No, he just doesn't have the speed. But now they come to the downhill section where the draft really kicks in, and he should be able to catch up to him. John Allen goes defensive on Koemans. Koemans decides to not battle him through the chicane there. He's very, very good on the exit of the chicane, and now he makes his move and gets the position.
Yeah, it's very disappointing to all the fans in Belgium and Russia, where Koemans co-resides. I thought he really was going to have a great race today. It looked like he had good speed. He was giving Maillard all he could want, and then he got some unfortunate situation that put him back in the pack, and he's not going to have a good finish. It has not been a good season for Koemans. This is his longest non-winning streak of his career. I think it's stretched now 8 or 9 all this season, 10 races. I think it's going on like 14 races or so. And just to follow up on one more thing, you can interrupt me if you got some excitement there. Let's go to McAleer and Kono.
We are seeing action between McAleer and Tomoki Kono. Etan, looks like Tomoki went off track for a second there, but he's got it back together. They're going down the straightaway, the back straightaway that is, as we see Kono now right on the rear bumper of McAleer. He'll move to the inside, no doubt, in a second to try and get a run on him. They're coming up pretty fast onto Richard Eklund at this point, Etan.
Yeah, Tomoki Kono, I think, was actually just willing to sit behind McAleer so that maybe he could make a move on Eklund. I think he's more willing to try to fight for that 2nd place spot rather than 3rd and let Eklund get away. Probably some strategic driving from Kono.
Absolutely, and I can tell you, I saw a lot of this kind of driving at Watkins Glen recently from Tomoki Kono. He does what we call bump drafting in an MX-5, which some people think is quite impossible, but Tomoki Kono is a master at the bump draft in the MX-5. He'll sit not quite hitting the car in front, but he'll just sit right on the back bumper of the car and kind of push it along with air to try and get as fast a speed out of both cars and catch up to a car in front of them. And it looks like he's doing that again. You watch what happens at the next round down into the back straightaway as he's once again pushing behind Sam McAleer. But now these guys have to make their move on Richard Eklund because the laps are running out, Ayrton, as they come around now into turn number 7 and down the back straightaway once again.
Yeah, we have about 3 laps left to go. No, actually, in a little weak exit there, he might get attacked by Yaman. But while this is going, I just want to go back to Cummins. And Bill was right. This is the first season ever so far that Cummins has not gotten a win on. And I'm wondering if he might be able to go this season without getting a win. And that would be unbelievable. He almost won out at his home track at Zolder a couple weeks ago, but just missed out from Evan Maillard. But that would be really disappointing if he doesn't get a win next race, because I don't think he's going to win here.
There's an interesting battle I want to go to because it has championship ramifications. Let's go back to Joris Jelenko in 7th place. He's being pressured right now by Yuri Yanis. Every point is going to be important to Jelenko. He's certainly going to lose his points lead to Maillard, who's going to get the win. And here comes Yanis. This could actually cost him the championship here. If he drops, every point is going to be valuable, as Yanis looks like he's going to get him on the inside as they go down the main straight. I can't imagine that Jelenko's going to have the momentum, but I've seen it done by McAleer. No. Jelenko's going to tuck in behind Yuri Yanis. Maybe do an over-under? Maybe. That might work. And to follow up on those guys' battle, all things have to come to an end. I was sad when the Beatles broke up. Yes, I'm old enough to remember that. And Benjamin Lanowit has crashed out. The consecutive lead lap finish has stopped. Over 1,200 consecutive miles finishing on the lead lap. Nice job, Benjamin. You are the Iron Man and a certain Wall of Famer. Back to you, Rich.
Okay, well, I tell you what, guys, we go back to the front here. Richard Eklund has been under pressure from both Sam McAleer and Tomoki Kono. These guys have caught up to him, and he is actually, Ayrton, he was struggling there in that last lap to keep ahead of these guys. But now we've got to take note of the fact that we are on lap 25. Next time by, there will only be 2 laps left in the race. As we see Sam McAleer now come right up onto the back. Richard Eklund goes defensive. Sam McAleer dives to the outside. Whoa, Richard Eklund managed just to hang on there. But now they come at him on that uphill section. And Richard Eklund once again goes defensive. Looks like he's struggling to hold these guys out, Ayrton.
Yeah, it looks like they're both Kono and McAleer are going to get a good run. Then goes defensive once again as they head across the front straight. 2 laps to go. McAleer's going to go on the outside into turn 1. Not the best place to be. Tomoki Kono looking to the inside. He's going to take advantage of that. He's going to go by McAleer. Maybe Yama's going to try to get on the inside for turn 3 as well. He looks to get to peak, doesn't go for it. But Tomoki Kono now in second, looking to harass Eklund for that 2nd place position. Meanwhile, Evan Maillard has a 5.5 second lead. It looks like he's probably going to run away with this win.
Yes, indeed. Nobody's going to catch Evan Maillard unless he absolutely crashes into the wall. Tomoki Kono got a bit loose there. Sam McAleer came back at him and sails past him there as they go into turn number 6 there again. So all you have to do is just make the slightest error, Ayrton, and you lose the position. That is the quality of these guys. Meanwhile, that's helped Richard Eklund stay ahead of these 2, and they'll have to do it all again, bearing in mind the next lap around will be the last lap. So a quick look at some of the other things happening around there. Jan Koemans out of it completely into 10th place there, sad to see. Benjamin Callow just ahead of him, and I'm seeing Uros Jelenko going into the pits. Ayrton, what on earth happened there?
I'm gonna check now.
Oh, he spun.
Yeah, he spun on the exit of turn 7, going onto the back straight, and he smashed straight into the wall.
Well, this has got huge implications for his championship standings. He's definitely gonna fall back now, I would believe, Bill.
Yeah, there's no way around that one. This This is going to hurt him, like Ayrton was talking, in several ways. It's going to hurt him in the points, and it's going to hurt his average. It's going to bring down his 3 no-show compensation races because his average is going to drop horribly.
Okay, guys, let's go back to the front.
As Maillard
we
goes
are on
around.
The last lap. Lap number 27. We'll keep an eye out for Evan Maillard. But we see that Connell has passed McAleer. We saw Amjad Yaman coming at Sam McAleer, trying to take away that position as well. Sam McAleer had to defend fiercely to hang on to that position. Richard Eklund, meanwhile, benefited Ayrton from that by managing to stay ahead of these guys and out of trouble. So Richard Eklund currently in second place. Let's check in with our leader, who's now coming up on the backstretch for the final time. Lap number 27, Evan Maillard. Ayrton?
Yeah, it looks like he's going to sail for this win. We can call it when he goes across the line. Makoto actually spins.
Into
He's gonna
McAleer.
left Sam McAleer.
Both, we'll get a replay of that. Both Tomoki Kono and Sam McAleer involved in an accident there, pretty hard hit. That has allowed Jay Yanis now coming up on the back of them. Tomoki Kono, badly damaged car. Let's just go back to Evan Maillard. We'll get a replay of that in a second. Evan Maillard coming up to finish this race, Ayrton, in style.
Yeah, he's going to get away with this win, but it looks like there's actually going to be a battle for second. Richard Eklund getting harassed by Amjad Yaman, who makes a move into chicane. He's going to get second place. Eklund's going to finish third. Actually, I think he's run out of gas. Yeah, I think he's run out of gas. Tom Ratchey's going to go by him as well. Tom Ratchey's going to finish on the third step of the podium.
Rathy made a great move around those spinning cars. He went on the grass full speed, is going to pick up a third place podium for the title influence car as he puts it in the wall in celebration. Nice job, Tom.
Yes, that is a great job. Richard Eklund quite correctly ran, as you say, quite correctly there, Ayrton. I think he did run out of fuel. Let's go back, if we can, to that replay director of that accident. Can we do that?
And we have Roy Visser now coming across the start-finish line in, it looks like, 11th. And a nice battle back here. We can go back to Eric Garcia and Joseph Aro in a nice battle as they come across. Looks like Garcia's going to get the position in 12th, and our veteran, Joseph Aro, getting 13th spot.
Yep, and then the others are finishing as well behind them. Anthony Salentano, Louis Baboni, Jeroen Ursem finishing now very shortly. Anthony Salentano coming to the line, and Jeroen Ursem, who has come ahead in leaps and bounds in his driving with this car, is finishing off there as well. They're in 16th place. And then Lino Chestang, I guess, is probably the last of the lead. Oh, no fuel.
No, he's trying to roll it across. He's getting out and pushing. He's not going to get there. So that looks like Yuris Jelenko is back on the track. No, he's not. Yuris Jelenko can't even get out of the pit, so Jelenko's going to get the final lead lap spot at the final spot at 18th, it looks like.
Yes, Amjad Yaman just giving him a little bit of a helping hand there. What good to see, Ayrton. Look at that. And now he gets him up over the hill, so he'll have enough to run down to the line and finish the race.
That's fun.
Okay, well, guys, we are going to take a break, and we'll come back shortly and give you the full standings. But once again, a pretty exciting race. Back soon. Welcome back, folks, to the QRS Blondies MX-5 World Tour. And I think while we were off air, Ayrton Ellis just said it all. Oh my God, what a frantic race, and it was all of that. Let's have a look now at the standings from position number 1. Evan Maillard, who looks like he may well have wrapped up this championship. Second place was taken by Amjad Yaman. Tom Rathie, a brilliant third place. Richard Eklund running out of fuel there in fourth place. Sam McAleer in fifth place. Jay Yanis in sixth place. Great finish from Ben Callow in seventh place. Jan Koeman struggled to the finish line in eighth place. Tomoki Kono having that battle for so long with I forget who it was now, but he got ninth place after an accident. And John Allen, a very respectable 10th place there, Ayrton.
Yeah, and then Roy Visser finished in 11th. Behind him was Eric Garcia in 12th, then Joseph Era in 13th. Luis Boboni finished in 14th, then Anthony Celentano in 15th, Sharon Ursum in 16th, Leonard Cheston in 17th, Euro Shalenko disappointing 18th, Derek Holland in 19th, then Al Heaton in 20th. Bill?
In 21st, if I go all the way across, it's the roadster driver of Jonathan Keir. Benjamin Nelson in 22nd, followed by Billy Bob Wright. Mihai Masison in 24th. It's so sad. 14 laps back, Benjamin Lanowitz, the streak is over. Nice job, Benjamin. It was fun while it lasted, and it lasted a long time. Carlos Torres, 21 laps back. That's a bad finish for him. Andy Morgan in 22nd. And that wraps out our 27 car field.
Indeed, and we are going to do some driver interviews in a minute. And first up, we are going to pull in Tom Rathie into the broadcast booth, and Bill is going to have a chat with Tom Rathie. Brilliant finish there.
Hey Richard, how you doing?
Hey Tom, it's Bill. Nice job, a podium.
Yeah, been a while, Bill.
Yeah, let's go back to the excitement. I think it was the last lap. You had cars spinning in front of you. You had to put that thing full speed off onto the grass there. Was it tight or did you feel comfortable?
Oh, it was interesting. I was like, no, please. And then Richard, I couldn't believe he ran out of gas, So
yeah. Well, we went back and looked at you've had, this is your 10th podium, but it's the first one since season 4, so it's been a long drought. You know what? Even with the attrition that happens in front of you, you were having a pretty good race anyway.
Yeah, it's so the big difference for me, Bill, Yari and Stefan Overgaard for a long time had told me to get off of auto clutch, which I finally did. And it must be 4/10 to 5/10 of a second each lap. And that made all the difference.
So all this time you've been doing it with auto clutch. Was it well, you're used to, you've had a real world track experience, so probably using the left foot was probably not a problem.
Yeah, it's the shifter and the pedal setup here on the G27 I'm not real fond of, so I just did paddle shifters, so now I'm using the clutch but doing sequential shifting. So, makes a big difference.
Well,
go ahead.
Well, go ahead. That's interesting, though. You've been racing for a long time, and it's funny to find that trick where you can knock off half a second after so many years.
Yeah. So now it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward.
Well, see, that's gonna get those juices flowing again. That's gonna spike up that enthusiasm. So maybe we'll be looking for more of you in the future.
Yeah, it felt good though. I mean, I was able to tuck in quite a bit during the race, especially in the first tank, and get a draft. I saw Euros back there, but every time we got on a straight, he didn't have the draft I did, and I could get the time back. So. Real interesting how things played out.
Well, congratulations, and it's good for Tidal Influence, our sponsor. They give the series a little money to help get the broadcasting going. So thanks, Tom, and we'll see you next week at Sebring for the nighttime.
Thanks, Bill. Take care. I'll see you next week.
All right, Richard, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Yeah, interesting stuff there from Tom Rathy. He's found half a second a lap, which is great for him. And certainly we should be seeing a little bit more of him in the future. Perhaps in the next season he'll be much better. Well, now let's go to second place, Amjad Yaman. And Ayrton Ellis is going to have a word with Amjad. Go ahead, Ayrton.
Thanks, Richard. Amjad, you here?
Yes, I am.
Well, your best finish of the season so far, second place. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was definitely an adventure to get that second.
Yeah, well, at the beginning of the race, you had some struggles there. You were leading, obviously, for quite a bit. You got that lead pretty early on, and then you had I think it was contact with Jer or Maillard, I forget which, that sent you back. Actually, it was Koemans. Now I remember in the chicane, you almost got hit by Koemans. Luckily, you went out. Good thing for you to do, but what were kind of the communications between you and Jer? Because it looked like you guys actually had a little bit of contact between each other during that race.
Yeah, we'll kind of work together. Since we started 1-2, we thought we could use the draft to try to break away from the pack, but these guys are just foaming at the mouth trying to get up to the front. It was just really hard. And with Koemans almost making contact in that S-spin right there, I had to back off. And then after that, it was just basically... get the claws out, let's go racing.
Yeah, and also, so Road Atlanta is one of those draft tracks, and it's one of those few tracks where you actually get a huge pack together, and it was between 1st and 8th. There's just a huge line of cars within that first 10 laps of that race. How do you kind of approach driving in that, knowing that if you make a mistake, you're probably going to drop a lot of positions? Do you drive more conservatively, or do you try to get to the front more urgently?
It's more of a passive-aggressive. You want to hang back, but you want those guys to get a little too aggressive, stop battling with each other, and then you can use the momentum that you have by yourself, pass both of them going up. And I think I did that like on lap 6, and I was able to make a pass in turn 2 on the outside. Yeah, you just take advantage of the people who are driving a little bit too aggressive in front of you.
Well, either way, you managed to come out on top on mistakes of the people in front of you by the end there. Unfortunately, Sam got caught out by Kono's mistake, and then Eklund had his fuel, just a small calculation error. So congrats again on strategy and racing. You had some really good battles there for that second place pack.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That ending was almost fairy tale-esque. I couldn't write it myself. You
gonna get a win next week?
I can't guarantee it, but I'm gonna try my hardest.
Okay, well, we'll see you then. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Okay, back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Ayrton. And yes, Amjad Yaman, pretty excited about that second place there. And why shouldn't he be excited? That was some really great racing. Well, let us bring in the winner of today's race, and that is Evan Maillard. And I'll have a chat with Evan. Evan, can you hear me?
Yep, Richard, I can.
Evan, a good win today. I believe this is your 5th win of the season. Pretty easy finish at the end there, but certainly leading up to getting that 5-second lead, there was a lot of action with yourself and other drivers.
Yeah, indeed, there was a lot of action. Like we had some 3-way, 4-way battles. It was very amazing. Definitely one of the best races of the season, and yeah, I feel great to have won at Road Atlanta, which is one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, indeed. I remember your last outing at this track, yourself and I believe it was Jan Koemans had a coming together coming out of the chicane there, and that kind of ended somebody's race at that time. But this one, no different. I mean, there was a lot of action through the chicane.
Yeah, indeed. But what happened with Jan this time was there was a big net cut or ghost contact. It was like a meter away from my car when I hit the curb, and I don't know what the net cut thought when I hit the curb. Maybe my car would be more to the left than it was, and spun. Yeah, and I'm feeling sorry for it, but there's not much I could have done.
Oh yeah, no, we understand that. Certainly, I think that Jan Koemans will understand that as well. That was definitely netcode. We had a good look at that one, and certainly you did nothing that was out of the ordinary there. just happened, and unfortunately, Jan Koemans was on the receiving end. Well, Evan, a couple of other things I want to talk about. Firstly, Uros Jolenko had a really bad finish today, so that is definitely going to put you up in the front of the championship. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's amazing that, that I can be in the front again. I had a difficult middle season with a couple bad finishes and struggles, so yeah, that's great to be back in the top.
Well, we've done some calculations, and we don't think that Uros Jolenko will have enough points to catch you, so you might well be the champion of the series, and that's great to see. You've worked hard this whole season to be out front there, so congratulations on that if it indeed happens. Last question I want to ask you, Evan. You guys were involved in the MX-5 shootout there, in the real life situation there. How did that go?
Yeah, we went to the shootout this weekend. Unfortunately, we didn't win it, which would have been very awesome, but still it was amazing and a great opportunity. And yeah, I'm very honored to have been part of this, and I just want to thank iRacing for all they've done again.
Okay. Well, Evan, thank you for talking to us once again. You are one of the most exciting drivers to watch in an MX-5, certainly. And we congratulate you on a win today, the 5th of the season. And we will see you next week. You will be there next week?
Yeah, I'll do my best.
All right. Thank you very much, Evan, for talking to us. Well, folks, we're going to do one more interview. I want to get a chat with Sam McAleer. And what we want to do is just ask him what happened there. Ethan, you want to have a chat with Sam?
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, Richard. So, Sam, I mean, I don't think you had anywhere you could go there. Sam? Looks like Sam's not with us right now.
Just having a few technical problems with Sam McAleer. Doesn't look as if we'll be able to talk to him. Let's give it one more shot there, Ethan.
Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No.
I answered for some, and the car came across, and I had to know where to go, and that's kind of my Italian Scottish accent. Sorry, Sam really was unfortunate there as Kono came across and got him on the last lap. Back to you.
Yeah, okay. Well, we didn't have a chance to talk to Sam McAleer there. Would have been good. Well, folks, I think that is just about going to wrap it up. I want to say, Ethan, once again, you know, we say it almost every time we come out and do a race, but these guys, they are the best drivers in MX-5 that you can find anywhere in the world. I'll put money on that.
Oh yeah, and you can just tell. I mean, you've got current and former pro drivers, Tomoki Kono, Uros Jolenko. We've had Jesper Pedersen in here. We've had a lot of really good drivers that come here. And I mean, Richard Eklund, Ev Maillard, Jan Koemans, they're considered 3 of the best MX-5 drivers in iRacing of all time. So it's definitely great to see all of them racing together.
Yes, indeed. And Bill, any surprises or things that we can look forward to for next season?
We still have one race to go. We have an endurance race at Sebring coming up in the dark. That'll be fun. Next season, we are definitely going to be here for season 9. We're going to be doing the Pacific Tour with only Japanese, Australian. You'll like that, Richard. All the tracks from down under and California as we do Pacific Tour next season. That'll be interesting. And my heart goes out to Jan Koemans. I really thought he was going to have a great race today. He was giving Maillard everything he had hoped for. And, you know, sometimes when you're unlucky, it just keeps hitting you. And that was one of the worst netcode incidents that I saw in a long time that ruined Koemans' day.
And guys, we are getting information that Sam McAleer is with us now. He's got his microphone working. We've pulled him into the booth. So, Ethan, go ahead. We'll have a chat with Sam.
Okay, Sam, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Sorry about that.
It's all good. So let's just talk about that last lap. Tomoki Kono spun in front of you. What was going through your mind as you're trying to prepare on what you're going to do?
Well, I could see he was pushing really hard, but I didn't think he would actually spin out. And unfortunately, I took the wrong route, so it was kind of half my fault as well. But I got quite angry at the time, so I apologise to Tomoki for that. But it's just a shame that it ended that way.
Yeah, you had quite a few unlucky moments throughout the race, especially at the start, right off the line. You had that bad start. What exactly happened there?
Well, it's quite embarrassing, really. I had the wheels facing the wrong way, so when I pulled off the line, the car went off to the right.
Well, okay, we've all done that, We've all done that before. So, I mean, you did have a good recovery. You only dropped down to, I think, around 7th or so, and you managed to get back up, battle with that second place pack with Eklund, Yaman, and Kono. So you had a good race. It's just unfortunate that that instant happened on that last lap there.
Yeah, I'll need to try my best the next race to try and get back up. I'm not sure if I was hoping for a top 3 in the championship, but I'm not sure if I can do that anymore, but I'll try my best anyway.
Well, Eklund only finished 1 position ahead of you, so he's not going to be too far ahead. You still have a chance.
That's good then.
Okay, thanks for talking to us, Sam.
Thank you.
Back to you, Richard.
Okay, well, that does wrap it up for tonight or today, wherever you are in the world. And so we come to the close, and as usual, there are a bunch of people we do want to thank. Firstly, our title sponsor is Blondies Bar in Long Beach. Please visit blondieslb.com. Blondies, of course, is the place to be. Cozy Cabins is another one of our great sponsors. They are in Green Valley Lake. Please visit cozycabinsgreenvalleylake.com to reserve top quality lodging at a very reasonable price. Green Valley Lake is the best kept secret of Southern California's San Bernardino Mountains. And while you are there in Green Valley Lake, do stop in at another one of our sponsors, the Eagle Nest Tavern. We would like to thank everyone at the Quality Racing Syndicate for organizing this series, not the least of which, of course, is our own Bill Zahn.
You're welcome.
We would also like to thank iRacing.com, XSplit, Twitch TV, Audio Technica, Behringer and Ava Media for providing software and hardware that we do use for the broadcasts. Thanks also to the broadcast team today, Ayrton, Bill, and of course our rowdy director Kevin Brown. And we must also thank Doug Beard for the brilliant camera sets he provides for us. If you would like to find out more about GSRC, our website is globalsimracingchannel.com. Go there and you will find our full broadcast schedule along with archived races and race highlights. We are also on Facebook at facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. We are on Twitter. Our handle is at GSR Channel. Very special thank you goes out as usual to Eric Ekholm, who provides us with the great music that we use in the broadcast. You can find it not only here but also in TV commercials, in movie trailers, on iTunes and Spotify as well. If you like the music, go ahead and tell Eric where you heard it. His handle on Twitter is at Eric Ekholm. Well, we do have some upcoming broadcasts as we go to the end of this year. Next week, Saturday the 13th of December, we will have the grand finale of the QRS Blondies MX-5 World Tour. It will be at Sebring at nighttime, and it'll be the modified version. Do come along and have a look at the finale. It's going to be great. Also, next Saturday, the 13th of December, we have the Continental Endurance Sports Car Series. They'll be running at Road Atlanta, and of course there we feature the Mustangs and MX-5s. That will be a good race to watch as well. That'll be the finale of the Continental Endurance Sports Car Series. Wednesday, the 7th of January, as we move into the new year, we start our new seasons. We have the Lionheart Racing Series, who run the DW12 IndyCars, and their first race of their season 2 will be at Michigan. Don't miss that one. It's a new type of racing that we bring to you on the Global Sim Racing channel. Also, we will have on Wednesday the 21st of January the start of our Champion Motorsport Series, and they will be running the GT3 cars at Alton Park, the international version with no chicane. So that'll be pretty exciting, very fast track. That is all we have for you tonight. As we say per usual, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you out on track.